Welcome in, you guys. We're going to be doing some Asvab mathematical knowledge test. So if you know anybody that's struggling to pass the Asvab, please share this live with them. Double tap that screen and let's get started. So it says if x equals 8, what's the value of y in the equation y equals x to the square divided by 4 minus 2? Okay, remember on the Asvab, you are not allowed to use a calculator. So we're going to be doing this all by hand with our brains. When it says x equals 8, you're plugging in 8 wherever you see an x. So we're going to do y equals 8 squared divided by 4 minus 2. Hey, welcome in, you guys. Welcome back. 2 days in a row. I'm on a roll, I tell you. So 8 squared. Remember, 8 squared is 8 times 8, okay? And we're going to do 8 times 8. That gives us 64 divided by 4, okay, minus 2. And 64 divided by 4 is 16, but I'll show you why, okay? So 4 goes into 6 one time. Drop down the 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. Bring down the 4. So 4 goes into 24 16 times, or 6 times, okay? 6 times 4 is 24. 0. So we have 16 minus 2. So if you got A as your answer, you were right on. Y equals 14. Thank you for the follows, you guys. Thank you for the double taps. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. We're doing the Asvab test, okay? So please comment if you think you know the answer. For number 2, put it in the chat. Okay, somebody said B. Ooh, okay. B, 25. C. All right, so A. Somebody said A. Okay. The most important word here is cubed. What does cubed mean? So cube means you're going to do 5 to the 3rd power because you're cubing it. And so when you cube it, you're doing 5 times 5 times 5. That many times. So 5 times 5 is 25. And then we're going to times that by 5. Well, 25 times 5 is 125. And let me show you. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 2 is 12. So that's why it's 125. Yep. Okay. You got it. Wonderful. Good. Okay. So now we have an order of operations. Okay. So we have 2.5 times 3 to the 3rd power to the cube. Okay. So remember, this means 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, so we got some C's. Oh, we getting all C's. Is that our answer? Let's see. So 3 times 3 is 9 times 3. 9 times 3 is 27. Okay. Now we're going to do this 27 times the 2.5. So we're going to do 27 times 25. Okay. So 5 times 7 is 35. Carry the 3. And then 5 times 2 is what? 10 plus, so 13. Carry 0. 2 times 7 is 14. Carry that, change that to a 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. Now we have a, oops, running out of space. Sick. So we have, so we have, we're going to add these. 5. 3 plus 4 is 7. And 1 plus 5 is 6. Now remember, we multiply by 2.5. So how you do decimals is every whole number after, you just move it over 1. It's because there's only 1 digit after the decimal. So 67.5. C, you guys were right on. Beautiful. Thank you for the rose. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's go to the next. Thank you, Kiana, for the rose. For the roses. Thank you, thank you. Number 4. Okay. The fourth root of 16 is, what do you guys say? We got A. Kaylee, what kind of high school math you need, hun? D, A. Okay, we got D. We got A. Okay. C, C, C. Oh, we kind of all over the place with this one. So, the fourth root. Okay. So, 16, fourth root means we're taking a fourth root like this. Okay. And how we do that is we have to figure out what times what gives us 16. Well, 4 times 4 does. And we could break down 4 into 2 times 2 and 2 times 2. So when you're taking the fourth root of a number, you're looking for a number times itself 4 times. So it can come out as 1. Okay. So our answer is going to be D. So the fourth root of 16 is 2. Okay. Yep. So it is D. Any questions on that one? Thank you for all the follows, you guys, and the double taps and the gifts. I really appreciate it. Okay, we don't got no questions. Let's keep it pushing then. What's the equation of a line that passes through points 0, -1, and 2, 3? All right, so whenever you're trying to write an equation, okay, you usually want to write it in the form y equals mx plus b, okay? So, what you have to understand about b is this is called the y-intercept. And a y-intercept consists of a 0 and then a number for any y. So we're lucky here because this first point that they gave us is the b. This is called a y-intercept. So this -1 is the b that we're going to plug into our equation. So just by knowing that, I know b is out. These are this is out for me, okay, because it's not a -1. So b is going to be -1, okay? So now I just gave myself a 50-50 chance. But by me knowing that an equation is y equals mx plus b, I'm going to go with A. But let me solidify why it is A, right? So what I need to check now is, do I have the right slope? Okay, that's what I'm checking. So how we get the slope is we do the changes, the difference in the y's over the differences in the x's. Okay. So let's talk about this. A point always consists of an x and a y. Okay. An x and a y. So I can name this x1, y1. This could be x2, y2. So now I'm going to plug this into my equation, to my formula. So 3 minus a -1, okay, because this minus came from the formula and this -1 came from the point that they gave us, over 2 minus our x1 is 0. So a negative and a negative always go to a positive. I hope that's what's that screaming in your head. 3 plus 1 gives us 4. 2 minus 0 gives us 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And that's our M. So A is our answer. Okay. Just showing this for people that haven't done this in a long time. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you for the donuts. So let's go to 6. What do you guys get for number 6? Somebody say, you got me missing school. I love it. Oh, are we all stumped on number 6? Okay. Somebody said B. I don't know, 12. Okay. You going with 12, 10? C. Okay. So the thing about this is, if you look at your answer choices, most of them are in feet. So what I want to do is I want to change this to feet. We cannot combine these because they don't have the same units, you guys. So we're going to change these yards to feet. And how we do that is, remember there's 3 feet in 1 yard. Okay, that's something you have to have memorized. 3 feet for 1 yard. So now we can multiply because our yards cancel. So we can do 12 times 3, which gets us 36 feet. Okay, so 12 yards is really 36 feet. So now that we have the feet and feet, we can add these. So we can do 36 plus 14. And 6 plus 4 is 10, carry the 1. And 3 plus 1 is 5. So now we have 50 feet, okay? But don't forget it said divide by 5. So 50 divided by 5, and if you said C was your answer, right on. It is 10 feet. Yep, 10 feet. Yes, 10. Yes. All right. Okay, let's keep it pushing. Okay. So number 7. Somebody said, I feel smarter. I love it. Number 7. What do you guys get for number 7? D. Okay. D. A. X to the 12. Thank you so much for the bear, ZT. BB. BD. Oh, we going back and forth with this one and this one. Okay. So the rule is whenever you're doing exponents and you're timesing the variables, which means the letters, you add their exponents. So you're going to do 3 plus 4. So you're going to get x to the 7th. So D is our answer. See, if you would have got A, it would have had to been written like this: x to the 3rd to the 4th. When a power is on a power, then that means multiply, which is very different from this. When they're spaced out like this, it means add. Okay, so I did want to clear that up. All right, let's go to 8. I thought they have a 1 in front. Yes, they do have a 1 in front. But the operation, thank you for saying that. They do have a 1 in front, but the operation is times. So you would do 1 times 1, and 1 times 1 is just 1. That's why it just stays a 1. Okay, so Dante said 8 is C. Okay. You guys see? Okay, so let's do it. So I'm gonna do the box way. Okay, I'm gonna use the box method to show multiplication. So the box method is that old school multiplication chart when you was in elementary school. If you struggled with your multiplication, they would give you a little chart, and then that was me. Okay. And it's crazy how I'm a math teacher today, okay? It's really crazy. So you're going to do x times x, which is going to give you x squared. And 2 times x gets you 2x. 4 times x, literally, you guys, do not be like, what is 4 times x? Just put it together. Whenever somebody asks you what's a number times letter, squish it together, okay? And 4 times 2 is 8. So now we're going to take these inner 4, okay, DD, okay. Thank you, Chris, for the rose. So we're going to squish this together. So we're going to do x squared plus 2x plus 4x plus 8. Okay. So by me knowing that this is going to be 8, I know I can eliminate A and C right off top because my last term is 8. Thank you, Jackson, for the rose. So now we have a 50-50 chance right now. We have to combine these like terms, and I see those D's coming in. Thank you, Grinley, for the rose. So 2x plus 4x is 6x. So D is our answer. Wonderful, you guys. Good. And if you didn't get it right, it's okay. Make the mistake now so that you don't make it when you're taking that Asvab test. Right? Thank you, Jules, for the rose. Okay, so let's go to number 9. Okay, so it says 1.5 times 10 to the third power. What you guys think? What do you guys think for this one? C? So this is not like a math grade. This is called the ASVAB for people that are trying to join the military. And it's a little bit of algebra 1, I would say. It's like all like high school math. 45, 1,000. Good. Yes. So I saw that. 10 to the third means 1,000 times 1.5. So what you can do is you count how many zeros you have, which is 3, and you're going to move that over 3 spaces. Okay? To the right. So every little hump that doesn't have, you add a 0. So it's going to be C. So our answer is 1,500. Okay, wonderful. Yep, that's beautiful. Okay. Number 10. Okay. Which of the following is a prime number? Do you also do word problems with math? Yep, I do. On my YouTube channel, there's like many lessons on like ratios, averages, like the arithmetic reasoning part of the ASVAB. So if you go to my YouTube, check that out. There's specific mini lessons where like people struggle with concepts and there's problems that you could try. I work them out and all that. Okay. So number 10 says B, B, B. Good. Okay, Mariah, thank you for the roses. So it is B. Now let's talk about what a prime is. Okay. What is a prime number? A prime number is a number that can only be one and itself. So I can only think of what times what gives me 11. Well, what times what gives me 11 is 1 times 11. Versus here, what times what gives me 8? 2 times 4, 8 times 1. There's several factors that can get you 8. Same thing as 4. 2 times 2 or 4 times 1. There's several. 27 is 9 times 3. What else? 1 times 27. So a prime number is only when 1 and itself can go into it. So I hope that cleared up what a prime number is, okay? All right, number 11. What's the mode of the following series of numbers? Good, Shay say makes sense. Good. B, B. Does it have to be a whole number for number 10? Does it have to be a whole number? For prime numbers, yes, prime numbers are whole numbers. B, B, B. Ooh, we're all getting B's. Good. Okay. A lot of us know what mode means. I love that. Okay, so mode, most number, repeating number. Exactly. So we have only 2 4s here. We have 3 8s, 2 10s, 2 12s. So B is our answer. Mode means the number that repeats the most. Okay, so the number that repeats the most. Okay, that's what the mode means. It's like little tricky vocab, right? It's like once you know the vocab, it's like, oh, it's so easy. But it's like if you don't remember those vocab, it's like, I don't even know what they asking for. That's the tricky part about this ASVAB test. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the gift. So number 12 says, if A equals 4, then A to the cube divided by A equals what? Okay. So, I mean, there's multiple ways to do this, you guys, okay? So we could set it up as a to the third divided by a, right? They told us what a is. They said a was 4. So I can plug in this a for 4. So I could do 4 to the third over 4. But let's remember, thank you, Gideon, for the rose. Let's remember what 4 to the third power means. It means 4 times 4 times 4. Don't waste your time multiplying this all out, right? Because we can cancel one of these 4s. And then we're left with 4 times 4, which is easier to do than doing 4 times 4 times 4 and then dividing. If you just write it out and then do 4 times 4, that's 16. So D is our answer. Alrighty. Yeah, somebody said, oh, wow, never thought about it that way. Yep. Because this is a time test, you don't have time to be multiplying, then dividing. They're trying to make you, they give you things to where if you use I don't know what to call that, but it's like specific skills. I don't know what to call it, but it's like little shortcuts. That's what they're expecting you to do, how to think about this test. Okay. Somebody said, I'm 39. I'm 39 tuning in, laughing at it all. I love math in school. I love it. 84 babies. All right. So 13, solve 5 to the, somebody said critical thinking. Yes. Yeah. Solve 5 factorial. Does anybody know what this 5 factorial is? What does that mean? Oh, thank you, Stay Dragon. Times itself. Nope. Oh, good. Somebody put it in the chat. Yes, Tan said it means 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. When you see this little explanation mark, whatever number they give you, like let's say if they started at 8, you will go 8 all the way down to 1 times in itself. That's what that means. This is a factorial, okay? So we will start by doing 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 3 is 60. Okay, because let me show you how I'm doing this. 3 times 2, 6. I just add the 0. Okay, now you can look at what 60 doubled, 120. And 120 times 1 is just 120. That's how you get C. Somebody said the next question is going to be all over the place. I love it. Okay, so what you guys get for 14? Oh, don't give up. Do not give up on that Asvab test. Keep on trying. Watch my YouTube. If you need tutoring, I do tutor as well. Email me. And let's get you to the test, the score you need so you can get that money. Okay? Don't give up. So 300 C. Ooh, we are kind of, now we going 50-50. B and C. B and C. That's what I'm seeing in the chat. All right. Order of operations, y'all. We have to do parentheses first before we can divide. So we're going to double 900. The double of 900 is 1800. Now that's going to be divided by 6. You guys, forget the zeros for right now and just focus on 18 divided by 6. Better yet, if you're not good at division, think of 6 times what gives you 18. You don't have to guess. They gave you some numbers here. So 6 times 3. And then carry your 2 zeros down. So if you got B, right on. If you didn't get it, it's okay. Make the mistake now so that you can master it on that test. Wonderful, you guys. Good. Lucy said, mind blown. I love it. All right. So it says if x equals 2, then x to the x times x. Okay. Whenever they tell you a number for a letter, you're going to plug that bad boy in wherever there's an x. So how we going to write this is we're going to do 2 to the 2 times 2. Okay. A. Good. Okay, so 2 times 2. 2 times 2 times 2. That's really what we're doing. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2, you got it, is 8. And that is our answer. Oh, thank you. Somebody said I'm 60 and retired. And I love, thank you. Thank you for the rose. All right, let's keep on going. Okay, well, I think we got a good, how many things we got? Yep, we got a good amount. Okay. Tomorrow, you guys, I'm going to be doing the TSI test for people that are trying to get into college, that need that college entrance. So I will be back tomorrow on live, okay? All right, 16. If 5 plus 1, 6 divided by 3, 8 minus 5 equals 3 plus 3x, then x equals what? Whew, okay. So let's start. We're going to start here. 5 plus 1 is 6. Okay. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And 8 minus 5 is 3. Equals 3 plus 3 is 6x. Okay. So now I could waste time multiplying this all out, right? I could waste time doing that. But remember, I'm just trying to solve for x. So what that means is I'm trying to get this x by itself. Do not waste your time multiplying this. Leave it as is. Whenever you have a number attached to a variable, that's multiplied. So to undo that, we're going to divide both sides by 6. This cancels. And this is going to cancel. So the only thing you have left is this 2 times 3, which is 6. And like you guys said, D is our answer. Yes. Oh, that was easier. Yep. I got it. Good. What time for the college entrance exam? I'm thinking around the, what time? Well, I got tutoring. I have tutoring tomorrow. So I'm thinking around, 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Central Time. I have tutoring tomorrow night and morning. So we'll see. But I'm going to try to just jump on. What's the Asvab for? The Asvab is for the military test. If you're going into the Army, Air Force, Navy, that's what that is for. So 17, square root 49. Can you guys put that in the chat? What's the square root of 49? Ooh, 17 is C. Okay. Yes. 7. Good. Remember, square root means what times itself. So 7 times 7. What's the square root of 64? Oh, I'm sorry, Coast Guard. I always think of, because I have family in the military, and they all like Air Force, Army. I even have somebody in the Navy, but I don't have anybody in the Coast Guard. But I'm sure do they use the ASVAB? I don't know. So I'm sure maybe they do. So the square root is 8 times 8. So we put down the 8. And 7 times 8. Ooh, what's 7 times 8, y'all? Good. The answer is A. Multiply 7 and 8. Yes, what is 7 times 8? It is 56. I think for those who were saying 42, I think you were thinking 7 times 6. That's 7 times 8. Yep. And another thing, for those who are trying to pass the ASVAB, It helps if you just get, like, if you're before your test, like 3 to 4 weeks before your test, download a multiplication little app and just practice your multiplication facts and try to get them as your speed and accuracy as like 100%. A lot of times when I come around people that are struggling with the Asvab, it's because their multiplication facts, the 7s, the 8s, the 9s are not there. It takes them too long to think of. They can get it eventually, but it just takes them so long to get it. And since it's a time test, unfortunately, it's taking them too long to think of what 7 times 8 instead of getting problems done. Okay. So I give that to you. Okay. If 2 plus x is greater than or equal to 4, then x is greater than or equal to what? Somebody said B. Good. Ashaya. Thank you for the fingers. Reese's. 18. Answer is B. Good. B, B, B. I'm seeing all B's. So we're going to get this x by itself. And how we move a positive 2, we have to do the opposite. So we're going to minus 2 to both sides. So we get x is greater than or equal to 4 minus 2 is 2. And B is our answer. Great, you guys. Okay. Now they got us some geometry problems. A little bit of geometry in here. Okay. So it says, if a circle has a radius of 12 feet, what is its circumference most nearly? Okay, that's important. Circumference most nearly. So first you have to think about, okay, circle. Then you have to think about what is a radius. Well, a radius is the distance between the center to an edge. So this is 12 feet, okay? And then it's asking for the circumference. So the circumference, when they give you the radius, is 2 times pi times 12. And then you have to remember, what is pi? Well, pi is a number, and it represents 3.14, okay? And it goes on forever, but we're going to use 3.14. So what we want to do is we're going to double 12. So we're doing 24 pi. Really, we're going to be doing 314 times 24. Okay. Because we want to get what's the circumference most nearly. So we're going to do 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. And then 4 times 3 is 12. Put your placeholder down because you're moving to the 10 spot. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 times 3 is 6. So now we're going to add down. And we do 6. 8 plus 5 is 13. Carry the 1. 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. And then 6 plus 1 is 7. So, but remember, we're doing 3.14. So there's 2 digits. So here I'm going to move over 2 digits here. So what is it most nearly by? That's 75. So C would be my answer. Okay, that's what it's most nearly by. Yep. Good. CC. Any questions on this? River says, so easy now. Yes. But but this one, what's your email? My email is impactmath19@gmail.com. Okay. But there was a lot to unpack. You had to understand what the radius was and what the circumference was, right? You had to know this formula, which I should have wrote it out. C equals 2 times pi times radius. Okay, that's why I put the 12 there. You had to have this memorized, and then you had to know like how to multiply. So it's a lot. I thought you times the 2 by pi. So you can do 2 times pi, but how my brain saw it is easier to just do double 24 and then do the 24 times 314 instead of doing 2 times pi and then doing that decimal times 12. So like this was like, okay, just double this and then times. So that's how my brain was working. But you're not wrong by saying doing 2 times pi. It just would have been more steps. Oh, you're so welcome, Rodriguez. Yep. So I said, wish I understood math in school. I do now. Isn't that crazy? I'm telling you, when I was in high school, I used to, my math teacher would have been like, Evelyn being a math teacher? I'd never see it in a day. But it was something like when I got to college, something just clicked. And it was like, oh, that's all they talking about this whole time? I can do this. It was crazy. Okay, so number 20. An aquarium measures 16 inches long and 8 inches deep and 18 inches high. What is its volume? So volume equals length times width times height, okay? So we're going to have to multiply all these numbers. So just by thinking 8 times 16 times 18, we know C is out, okay? I'm really thinking B is out too because that's too small if I'm multiplying these big numbers. Now I just gave myself a 50-50 chance, right? If I had like no time, I would say A. I would just go with A. Yeah. Like if I had no time, I'm going with A. These look like some huge numbers I'm multiplying. Can it only give me 288? I doubt it. Okay. But let me show you guys. So if we do 16 times 8, again, this is like does the numbers that they're giving you make sense to the problem? Okay, that's really what this is asking you. So 8 times 6 is 48, carry the 4. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is going to give us 10, 12, 128. Okay, carry the 0. Oh, no, it's just 128. So now we're going to do 128 times 18. Okay. So, I might be a little bit off, but it could be D, maybe. 8 times 8 is 64. Nope, I'm stopping right there. I'm literally going to stop right there. Because as soon as I see this 4 right here, I know my answer has to end in a 4. The only one that ended in a 4 was A. Does that make sense, you guys? So I'm all over the place right now. I don't have a set schedule. I'm just trying to jump on every day right now. But when the school year starts, I should be more strict with my time. Yep, quick thinking for a time test. Yes. Yes, I tutor one-on-ones on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have a couple of slots available for this. What day is it today? For Thursday, I'm pretty booked up, but next week I have a couple of slots on Tuesday. So email me. Okay. That's my email right there. All right, let's keep it pushing. Okay. So impactmath19@gmail.com. Okay. It's up here. Can you guys see it okay? All right. So 21. Angles 1 and 2 are supplementary, complementary, both obtuse, both right angles. What are you guys going for? What's my YouTube? Impact Math 19. And you can click the link in my profile. And that's my YouTube. And it's like specific mini lessons on the Asvab and other things. And I always post all my lives, you guys, on YouTube as well. So if you want to relook at this, it'll be on there. DB. Ooh. Okay, it's good. Okay. So I see some of you guys are recognizing that this is a right angle. But you have to be careful because it says both of these are right angles. So in order for both of these to be right angles, it would have had to been written like this. This would have meant that both of them are right angles. Each of them have the right angles. That's not the same as this and this. So this is out. Okay. Good. Somebody said it is an A. Okay. Thank you, Red Fox, for the rose. Okay. Why is it not A? Somebody said B, B, B. Okay. Complimentary, complimentary. Why is it not A? Does anybody know what supplementary means? Yep. Somebody said, can you teach the words mean? Yep. Okay, so supplementary means two angles that add to 180 degrees. So in the case of these two, angle 1 and 2 are supplementary because this is 90 and this is 90. So right angles are 90 degrees. Okay. So it would be 90 plus 90. So that's why it would be 180. So these are not 180. So what it is it is B. Okay. Let me explain why it's B. Complementary means two angles that add to 90 degrees. And so you see how they drew it where it's 1 and 2 and they split this 90 degrees. So however much this angle is and this angle, when you add them up, they're going to equal 90. That's why it's complementary. Obtuse now is an angle that is it's like greater than 90 to 180. Okay. That's what obtuse. Any angle that's greater than 90 and less than 180. So these cannot be that because they both add up to 90. That's why C is wrong. Okay. Hope that makes sense, you guys. Thank you for the follows, the double taps. Thank you for hanging on with me and chilling with me on a Wednesday. Aw, thank you, Roth. Okay, so 22. Convert 24% to a fraction. Okay. Mike, what you confused on? Put it in. Let me know. Tell me what you're confused. So what I'm saying is these have to be complementary because however much this angle is and this angle is, they can't be bigger than 90. So when you add them, they equal 90. Ashley, I just got your email, hon. I'll respond after I get off, okay? See. Thank you, Kenya, for the roses. Kiana, sorry, I murdered your name. I'm terrible at names, y'all. You could ask all my students. It'd take me a good solid month. Okay, so we got CA. All right, so percent. Remember, percent means per 100. So we're going to do 24 divided by 100. And we're going to say what can go into, if you don't know what can go into 24 and 100, just start halving it, okay? So what do I mean by that? I'm going to divide this by 2. I'm going to divide this by 2. So half of 24 is 12. Half of 100 is 50. I still see even on even, so I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to divide it by 2, divided by 2. So half of 12 gives me 6. Half of 50 cents is 25 cents. So A is my answer. Good. Thank you guys for chatting with me. You know, it's not as fun if you don't have nobody responding. I love when you guys answer questions, brave enough to put your answers out there, whether they're right or wrong. I never want anybody to feel like they don't get it or they're not smart. This is the time we're learning. We want to make all the mistakes we can now. So put those answers, be brave. And as long as we're learning, we gonna improve, okay? So good. Thanks. You made that easy. Wonderful. I love this. Aw, wonderful. Good. All right. So let's keep it going. If y equals 3ab plus 2b cubed, what is y when a equals 1 and b equals 2? All right. We love these problems because they already told us what a is. We don't have to guess. We don't have to find none. They told us a was 1, and they told me b, when I'm plugging in for b, is 2. So wherever I see a b, that's what I'm doing. I'm plugging in 2. Okay, so we're going to rewrite this. Y equals 3 times 1 times b is 2 plus 2 times 2 to the third power. All right, so order of operations. Start with this exponent, get rid of this exponent. So that means 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And then we still have that times 2 by it, right? So 2 times 8 is 16. Okay, so now let's do 3 times 1 is 3, times 2 is 6. So 6 plus 16. You said D was your answer? You were right. And so let me show you how my brain looked at that. Because 6 plus 6 is 2. So I don't even need to go further. 6 plus 6 is 12. Sorry. It's 12. I don't even need to do this part because it ends in a 2. I'm looking at my answer choices, you guys. You got to use these answers to help you. That's why we love multiple choice, okay? Because we have something to look at. So the only thing that ended in a 2 was 22. So that had to be D. Okay. Alyssa, you can do it. I've just started posting more GED videos. I did a whole live on GED yesterday. So go check out my YouTube. If you need tutoring, email me. Let's get it done. Okay. We're going to knock that GED out. We need more money. We need more favor. We need everything. Okay. Don't give up. So somebody said, can you go over 1 again, please? Yep. So here they told us A was 1 and B was 2. So we're substituting in wherever there's an A, we put 1. And wherever there's a B, we put 2. And then what we had to do, so we plugged in everything. We had to do this 2 to the third. So that meant 2 times 2 times 2. So we first started with 2 times 2, gave us 4. Then we times that by 2 and got 8. I dropped down this 2 that we never used. And I said 2 times 8 gave us 16. Then I went over here and I said, well, 3 times 1 is just 3. And 3 times 2 gets me 6. And then we added the 6 and 16. Okay. No, honey, my tutoring is not free. This is what I do for free. My lives are free. You guys, this is what I am about to start doing though. I am going to be doing like a math lab. That's what saved me when I was in college, when I was doing math. I was like, I don't need like one-on-one tutoring, but I do need like, when I'm stuck, I need like a question answered and then I can go on. You know what I mean? So I am going to be doing a math lab. And it's going to be starting here at the end of August. Like, so if you're studying, it'll be on my profile and all that. I'm going to explain the details and everything, but it's basically going to be where I'm just holding office hours. And if you're like studying, you get stuck, you want me to explain a problem, you can come into my math lab. So that's what I'm going to start doing. Cause some people don't need the one-on-one. They just need a question answered here and there when they're getting stuck. Okay. So 44 is 80% of what number? Okay. So right now, tutoring is 35 per hour for the person that asked. 44 is 80% of what number? So how we can set this up, you guys, we're going to do 44 is means equal. Okay. Now, we can never leave this as a percent, okay? So we're going to divide this by 100, and we're going to write it as 0.8. And then of what number? I don't know. So I'm just going to put an X. And then I want this X by itself. Whenever a number is attached to an X, remember that's multiplied. So to undo that, we're going to divide by 8 to both sides, by 0.8. So we get 0.8 divided by 44, okay? Now remember, you can't really divide by a decimal. So you have to move it over 1, and then you're going to move this over 1. So you're going to add a 0. So you're asking yourself, how many 8s can go into 44? Well, you don't have to look. You don't have to guess. It tells you right here. It's all 5. So I'm going to put a 5 right here. 5 times 8 gives me 40. I'm going to minus. 4 minus 0 gives me a 4. I'm going to drop down that 0. So 8 goes into 40 how many times? Well, 5. 5 times 8 just gave me 40. So C is our answer. Good. Mommy says C. Yes. Wonderful, Red Fox. Yes. Okay. Stell, you said you're confused. Okay, so tell me what you're confused about. So are you confused on how we got this equation? Because 44 always means equal. And then you can never divide by a percent. So you have to change it to a decimal. And you do that by dividing by 100. So when you divide 80 by 100, you can cancel out this 0. But it's basically you're moving that decimal over one spot when you get 8/10. Or if you're dividing by 100, you're moving it over twice to the left. Whenever you divide by 100, you move the decimal over. So that's how we got 0.8. And then of means times. And since I don't know what number it is, I always just put a variable. Okay. Yeah, B said moving that decimal is confusing. Yes. Yep. Oh, good. Okay, Star, that helped. Okay, yeah. So whenever you divide by 100, you're moving it over 2. If you divide by 10, you're moving it over once. This what you have to remember, though. After every whole number is an imaginary decimal. All these numbers have decimals after them. Okay. Can you just divide without the second step? Oh, can we divide this? We can't divide. We can never divide by decimal. You just move it like you can't divide. That's why we had to move this over 1. What part of, I can teach them calculus. Yes, I can, but only the parts that I remember. I used to love calculus. I'm so mad I let some of the related rates. That was like such a struggle, and I became like a pro at it. But now give me a related rate problem, I'll be like, But so I just have to. It takes me too long to refresh. But like derivatives, you never forget those. Integrals, you never forget that. Stuff like that. But yeah. Okay, so what you guys getting for this one? Factor. What you guys getting for this one? A, B, C, or D? What do you guys get? A? It's A. Somebody said nothing. I ain't getting nothing for this one. Good. Okay, for those who said A, lovely. All right, so let's talk about it. Why is A, okay? Let me explain why our answer is A. So when you factor, okay, thank you. You sent me an email. I will respond later today, okay? To all the emails that I got today. All right, so be on the lookout. Thank you for emailing me, hon. Looking forward to working with you. Okay, so here we have 4y and we have a -2, okay? The outers go into one parenthesis. Okay. So we have 4y minus 2. These outers go into one parenthesis. And does everybody see how these 3x plus 2 is the same? When they're the same like this, they come down as 1. So they come down as 3x plus 2. And these are your factors put together. How you would get this is called factor by grouping, you guys. And they already factored it for you. You just have to recognize that the outers go in 1 and both of these are the same, come down as 1. Yeah. So that's our A. All right. Thank you so much. This is going to be our lesson for tomorrow. We're doing the arithmetic assessment. Okay, not the algebra one. It's basically the pre-algebra, I think that is for the TSI. I don't think some people get to use calculators for this one. So that's what's on the agenda for tomorrow. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a blessed day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everyone.